Ooh, welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach, presented by Apollo Media. The playoff is set. College football is about to ramp up. But first, Jay, tell them who we are brought to you by.
The playoff isn't just set for college football as a whole, but it's also set for Battle Bets, who we are proud to be sponsored with
Yes, sir.
for this season. If you don't know what Battle Bets is, it is a fantasy gambling app that means no real money. The most responsible way to gamble, no real money, is being wagered, and you can play on bet on over unders, spreads, money lines, props, all that. 100% free to sign up, 100% free to play. Just let them know that we sent you by selecting the Get Back Coach as your ambassador in the refer section. It's just a great way to prove your ball knowledge to your friends, Jake. You
Yes,
can
sir.
lord this over their head and say that you are superior because you know what's going to happen in games. Download Battle
Response
Bats
responsibly. Download
responsibly.
Battle Bats.
Yeah.
Responsibly gamble. Jay, we have a lot to get into. Some coaching changes. Colin Klein to Kansas State. This one seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, when Colin Klein made the move to Texas A&M to take over the offensive coordinator job, it kind of felt like he was going to learn a little bit more about the craft, and then he was eventually always headed home to Manhattan to the Little Apple. Really happy for Colin Klein. I've heard nothing but good things about him. It does make me feel old to see somebody that I watched just the year before I got to college, now a head coach at the highest level. Power 5 program in the FBS. Again, just a natural fit there. Can't wait to see what he does. I think it makes so much sense. He was in touch with Kleeman pretty much the whole time, even while he was at A&M. Had some great mentors, obviously Bill Snyder, who he played under. Really think this is going to be a good fit. Makes so much sense culturally. Obviously, you never know how these things are going to turn out, but happy for Colin Klein.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go to the G5 here. Friend of the program, or at least follows us, Charles. I don't know if we're friends. We're maybe acquaintances. He at least follows us. Charles Huff goes to Memphis. Listen, Charles Huff, great coach at running backs coach at Penn State, did a fantastic job at Marshall. Jay, quietly, Southern Miss went 7-5 this year. Quietly had a very good year.
And considering where that program was when Charles Huff took over, it's a really impressive season.
Yeah.
Obviously, you would have liked to have more considering the start that they had to the year, and it looked like they were primed to be in the Sun Belt Championship. But yeah, good hire for Memphis. How many episodes do you think Coach Huff has listened to of ours?
I'm gonna go. I think he tuned in once. I in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that Coach Huff listened to an episode. He definitely at least saw some of our posts.
Yeah.
And was like, I think I like this.
That's a win for us.
That's a giant win for us. Win for us. Will Hall promoted at Tulane. John Summerall, of course, is leaving. For Florida, Will Hall promoted at Tulane. Jay, I don't know a ton about Will Hall. Do you know anything?
He had the Southern Miss job, and it did not go well for him there.
Okay.
But Southern Miss was also in a pretty bad spot. Obviously coaching under a guy like Summerall, you would think you'd pick up some stuff. I think it gives you some continuity there in New Orleans. We'll see. Kind of cautiously watching this one. Again, maybe Southern Miss just wasn't the best job for him. Maybe Tulane will turn out better. But I think this is more about the continuity for the program since they've had a lot of turnover recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Rogers at Iowa State. Oh, come on, Jay. You know what we're going to end with. Yeah. Jimmy Rogers to Iowa State. Great coach at South Dakota State. Was at Wazoo this year. Now goes to Iowa State. I think this fits. I want to say this fits.
South Dakota State is probably regionally more akin to Iowa State than Washington State is. He made the jump. I don't think he had a bad year at Wazoo, but Man, I this is more concerning for me about Wazoo's future as a program than it
Oh
is
yeah.
for Iowa State. I think Iowa State made a great hire here. I think this one makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, interested to see how Wazoo bounces back from this. As far as Jimmy Rogers to Iowa State, I think this is a good hire. I think we'll see it play out well.
Yeah, here's the thing. Iowa State, it's a tough place to win, which is something that um, I'm going to say another time on this podcast very, very soon. It's tough to win at Iowa State. You don't have the resources, you don't have the money as these other programs do. Jimmy Rogers did wonderful things at South Dakota State. Listen, Wazoo went 6-6 this year. Not a bad year for him. Um, I think this can work out. I don't think this is a bad hire. I think it's a solid one.
Yeah, and now we get into the guy that Jimmy Rogers replaced at
Yeah.
Iowa State. Jake, I'll let you take it away.
Listen, folks, it's been a very long 54 days. Okay. It's a very long 54 days. But Penn State, I feel like, found their guy. Matt Campbell was at Iowa State. And even though maybe, did not win a national title, what he did do, which no other coach was able to do, is that he brought Iowa State to relevance. Only 2 10-win seasons ever at Iowa State. Matt Campbell is responsible for both of them. He has a Big 12 title, which Iowa State has never won. So my thing here is, I know people have been sharing the versus top 25 teams. He doesn't have the resources. They have recruiting classes that are ranked like 60th, 70th, and he's posting top 15 finishes. I would love to see what he does at Penn State now with resources, with an athletic department that is hungry, um, but also with some added pressure. Let's hope that it makes diamonds.
Yeah, I think this is a great hire, and I think it's, a shame that it took so long to get to this point, because I think if they had hired him pretty quickly in the process,
Mhm.
I don't know if this would have been ballyhooed as much.
Yeah,
I look at Matt Campbell. I think he's a fantastic coach. What you said about the things he accomplished at Iowa State, I may be wrong on this, but I think Iowa State only had one other season above 500.
something close to that.
I think it was like 2005,
Uh-huh.
this century, right? So Matt Campbell has done a lot of good for Iowa State, and it's one of those situations where it's kind of surprising it took him this long to leave.
Yeah.
I feel like he was probably getting called up quite a bit. Uh, you know, Penn State. He was at Toledo, I believe, before
Yes,
he
he
went
was.
to
He
Iowa
was at
State.
Toledo.
Did some good things there, so it's not like a regional mismatch. Uh, I think this is a great hire. I think
I
it's
think so
one of the
too.
best hires of the cycle.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Again, you never know how these things are going to play out. But I like the decision that Penn State made in the end.
Culturally, Jay, this fits. Um, and apparently it took so long. They contacted the wrong agent. Did you
That's
see
wild.
that?
I did not see that. That's
They
wild.
contacted his old agent, and I guess he never got it, or was like, I'm not going to tell if he replaced me. I'm not like,
Yeah.
whatever. And then I guess they were backed into a corner. The way that Penn State fell down the hill and landed on their feet with this hire is truly remarkable. AD Pat Kraft has to be thanking his lucky stars that he figured this out, because I truly believe they swung and missed on Kurt Signetti and Mike Elko, and they got Matt Campbell. And listen, the press conference was today, Jay, and Penn State fans are already gushing over Matt Campbell. And I truly, Matt Campbell is a more genuine, likable guy than Franklin, which I think will give him some grace early on. I don't know how the fan base is going to react to his coachisms, like press conference after press conference, because he does say a lot of like coachisms. Um, but I think this fits. And I also believe that this is a guy who is going to want to stay. and is going to be truly committed. Say what you will about James Franklin, there and his agent Jimmy Sexton. I felt like was always feeling his name out there. So like Franklin, if they ever wanted to get rid of him, he would already be out the door. Where I feel like Matt Campbell's like, no, I'm gonna go down with the ship if something ever happens. And I truly think Matt Campbell, the floor is about the same or heightened. Matt Campbell could also elevate this program. I'm very excited.
Yeah, can't wait to see how that one turns out. Again, I'm high on this hire too, but the coaching carousel turns, and the wheel weaves as it will. You never know how these things are going to play out. I do think it's ultimately, though, the best hire that Penn State could have made in the situation, and probably one that could have been made sooner in the process.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. We got lucky. We got lucky on this one, so I'm pretty fired up for it. Anyone else, Jay? I think that covers up this week.
I mean, we probably missed some just because of how crazy the cycle has been, but we'll circle back and see what other updates we have. I need one of those handy dandy maps that shows all the lines going to different places. You know what I mean?
all the flight trackers that have taken place. Flight tracker season, everybody. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Brian Hartline to South Florida.
There we go. That's another one. Yeah.
And Will Stein to Kentucky.
Those are confirmed. We talked about it last week, but it's confirmed now.
Oh, okay, it's confirmed now. Brian Hartline, I think. Listen, he was gonna get a head coaching job eventually. I think this is a good spot for him to land.
Yeah,
especially with how how things were built there. I think this is a good hire.
Yeah, he's pretty much Ohio or South Florida for Mr. Hartline in his playing career, right?
Yeah, exactly, right.
But yeah, I think it's a good move. Will Stein, I think, is a great hire for Kentucky. I think they kind of sneaked into one of the better hires of the cycle relative to the expectations of that program. Again, there's only so many wins to go around in the SEC, but I think Kentucky made a good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Did we talk Golish to Auburn?
Yeah, we did last week.
We did last week. Okay. Jay, championship weekend. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's talk about some on-field action after talking about off-field action.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State, what a job by Jerry Mack. The Owls, hoot, get their conference championship there. They win CUSA after not having a graceful transition to FBS from the FCS. Really awesome to see the success that program has had. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say about that. Jerry Mack, what a job.
I mean, great. Fantastic job by Jerry Mack. Dude, he fired me up with his post-game speech. Like, just the genuine joy in his voice. Like, it fired me up. And they're already working on a coaching extension. Like, they're already saying we need to lock this man up because he's going to get another job very, very soon. So again, 2-10 last year, huge for them. This was a rematch, Jay, from a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So Jacksonville State beat them 35-26. We're in a game where the score looked closer than what it was. And in this game, Kennesaw's defense, I thought, did an excellent job just keeping Jacksonville State at bay, making them punt, making them turn it, making them go for it. Jay, the last 4 minutes of this game were incredible. Jacksonville State has a 2-point conversion catch, which is absolutely incredible. And then Kennesaw's drive, 4th and 14. Jacksonville State covers 0 blitz. Quarterback
get home.
Odin gets loose, gets the first down. Jacksonville State, hard time passing the football, and I think that was the difference maker. But huge win, 19-15. Huge win for the Owls.
Yeah, massive. Moving on to the Sun Belt, James Madison beats Troy 31-14. Felt like James Madison was the class of the field in the Sun Belt all year. That kind of turned out to be true here at the end, and we'll get into them in the playoff. But massive year for JMU. I guess this is one that we didn't talk about as far as hirings. Billy Napier will be taking over for Bob Chesney. after Chesney moves on to UCLA. Chesney will coach JMU through the playoffs, so excited to see that. JMU ran for 300 yards in this one. I mean, when you run for 300 yards, generally that means you won the game.
Not only that, Jay, but James Madison, 8 sacks, 14 tackles for losses. Troy had minus 26 yards rushing, which I think is a huge stat there. But Jay, 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This was 17-14.
Yeah.
Wild. 14, 2 touchdowns at the end of this game, if 4 minutes. Tulane scores, and then the fumbled return for a touchdown. It makes this game look worse than what it was, but looking at the stats, I can't believe Troy was even in this game with that much time left.
Yeah, I mean, it's James Madison really controlled the game, and then they just pulled away at the end. I think this score probably could have been worse than it was, but again, massive for another program coming up from the FCS to find this level of success this soon.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Boise State wins the Mountain West again. It's like the Thanos meme. I am inevitable. Boise State wins the Mountain West again over UNLV. UNLV just played with penalties. I don't want to make an assumption, Jay. I don't want to do it. Is there a problem with Dan Mullen teams and penalties?
I think so. I think it's a calling card. Yeah.
Correlation does not always mean causation, but I think there is a correlation there. Boise State had 8 tackles for losses, and I think UNLV, especially early, they just couldn't finish drives. They get a couple first downs, can't finish. They tried to come back at the end, too much for them. Boise State pulls away. Boise controlled this one for the majority of the football game.
Yeah. For this one, for me, the story is Boise State is kind of the calling card of continuity and consistency in the Mountain West. They're just there, like you said, the Thanos meme, inevitable every year. UNLV, they had a really good year last year with Odom before he moved on to Purdue.
Right.
And I think UNLV gets a lot of talent in, but you don't have the continuity. You don't have the guys that have been together forever. You have a lot of transfers coming in. It's just harder, I think, to finish games and to play disciplined football when you don't have as much time around the guys in the locker room. I think that's ultimately the difference maker in this one. Boise State comes out on top, wins yet another Mountain West championship, even if it should have been New Mexico in this game, in my opinion.
Yep. We were all thinking it. Tulane wins the American Roll Wave over North Texas. Jay, I kind of feel bad for North Texas. 3 costly turnovers, 2 in the red zone. One of them was a punt fiasco where it hits a North Texas player, sets up a short fourth and goal. Jay, this was 31-7 in the third, and just too much to come back. They tried to. This game should have been a lot closer. Turnovers killed the Mean Green.
Yeah, it's the same story as their game against South Florida earlier this year. North Texas is competitive, but the turnovers, it's just so hard to overcome. And the thing was, North Texas made a lot of their hay this year winning the turnover battle. When they don't win the turnover battle, obviously you see what happens. Good performance by Tulane, not overly impressive, right? Like, I think you would have preferred to dominate and finish them a little bit sooner, not give them that hope there at the end of the contest. But Tulane has been the class of G5, since going back to when Willie Fritz was there. They've been consistently in these types of situations with chances to make the playoff as a group of 5 team. They finally capitalize. Big win for New Orleans.
Yeah, huge. Now let's move on to Sunday. That was our Friday night slate. Let's get to Saturday. Maction to start things off. Western Michigan wins the MAC over Miami of Ohio, 23-13. Jay, I love Brock Lowry, the quarterback for Western Michigan. I think he's excellent. He, I think he rushed for like 60-some yards. Western Michigan's defense stepped up big time. Broncos winning the trenches, 286 yards rushing. And that's kind of the story of the game. Miami of Ohio, awful on offense, could not do anything against Western Michigan. And they are partying in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch a ton of this one. Just got some of the highlights. But yeah, the Western Michigan defense is the story of the day here. Kind of put it together with Maction. I think you just think of good defenses up there in that part of the country. Big for the Broncos, not who I had on my board to win Maction at all, right? Like you had Ohio floating around there, Toledo's floating around there, but it ends up being Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. And like you said, they're partying in Kalamazoo. Big time win. I believe Lance Taylor, the coach of Western Michigan, has been extended now.
Very nice. We like
because
that.
of this performance. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I love to see it. Big 12, Texas Tech beats BYU 34-7, and let's just say it knocks them out of the playoff race. We'll talk about if that's fair or not. I felt bad for BYU's defense, Jay. I felt like they were holding on for dear life all game, doing all that they could, and they just got worn down at the end, and then Texas Tech ends up winning big.
Yeah, this felt like virtually a replay of the game from earlier this year where the Texas Tech defense just smothered BYU, didn't let their offense get anything going. The only real change is Morton was back at quarterback for Texas Tech in this one. And with the starting quarterback, you tack on a few more points. So Texas Tech, what a season for them. To power through the Big 12. Obviously, there's going to be complaints about their strength of schedule, but ultimately they did what they had to do. They looked like a great team this year. The defense was much improved, and they're onto the playoff, and they get a first round bye as well.
I know, and huge for Texas Tech. I mean, you want to talk about a team that fully invested into this season. Joey McGuire doing an excellent job. Yeah, huge for the Red Raiders there. Now to the SEC, Jay. Georgia wins the SEC. They beat Alabama 28-7. I have no idea why this line was this close. I am, by the way, I think we should just say it now. Jay, we went on a generationally terrible run on Sunday.
It was not good.
It was awful. It was awful. Last week I was pretty good, but the 3 out of the last 4 weeks I've been awful. I can't read lines anymore. I can't do it. So if you're listening, fade me. I guess just do the opposite of what I do, because I saw this line and was like, why is this so small? Georgia should handle Alabama. So I took Bama. And yeah, I'm a big fat loser because I should have just went with my brain. Here's the thing. Georgia's defensive line is looking like a Georgia defensive line. They pressured Ty Simpson and Alabama all day long. And to the point, Jay, where Alabama just kind of stopped trying to run the football.
Yeah, I think -3 yards was the final stat line for Alabama rushing the ball. This has been the key to victory against Alabama all year. If you can pressure Ty Simpson and make him sweat back there, teams have been able to beat him. And that was how OU got the job done. That was how Florida State got the job done at the beginning of the season. And that was how Georgia was able to get their revenge after the loss earlier this year. They figured it out. Georgia has struggled at times to rush the passer this year, but I feel like they figured it out in the back half of the year. This is a tale of two programs on opposite trajectories. Felt like Georgia has gotten better as the year's gone on. Feels like Alabama kind of struggled coming into the SEC championship. They narrowly escaped Auburn, right? Like this is a team that very easily could have been left out of the SEC championship, and they end up not having a very good game. I don't know if you call this a blowout. It's kind of a suffocation more than a blowout, I would call this, just because, you don't have the completely lopsided score lines. But there was never a doubt who was in control of this contest. Georgia powers on, and 28-7. It's another kind of curse-breaking performance, I guess you'd say. I don't believe Georgia has beaten Alabama in the SEC championship, so to get that done, big for that program.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got Duke. Duke causes absolute chaos, wins the ACC in overtime 27-20. Manny Diaz wins the ACC before Miami does after he was fired.
Yeah, it's funny the way things turn out, isn't it? But Duke for this one, honestly, this shouldn't have gone to overtime. Duke kind of let
Yeah,
up a
Duke
little
let
bit
him
at
back
the end of
in
the
it.
game. Uh, you know, Virginia, I think we talk about all the time. It's tough to beat the same team twice. This is a fantastic example of that. Uh, Great performance by Duke to win the ACC championship against all odds.
Mhm.
Don't think I saw this one coming. Certainly made comments about it. I was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks left in the season. Duke is not mathematically
Yeah,
eliminated yet, and then they go on to do it, open the door for some other teams to get in the playoff. Uh, what can you say? You win an ACC championship at Duke. Pretty impressive performance.
no, absolutely. And listen, this game was awesome to watch. A little sloppy at times. Um, Virginia also almost gets caught with an illegal touching. They said he did establish himself because he was forced out of bounds, but then established himself back in for the touchdown. Um, I just don't know. Now they were backed up. So Duke's so for the people who need to be in a little bit informed here, Duke scores a touchdown in overtime. Virginia gets the ball, but it's backed up because of a personal foul penalty. Now, it's not 1st and 25, it's still 1st and 10. Virginia runs a reverse pass right into an interception. I do not know why. Like
It's not the
I
time for it.
I know, and you know what? If it works, then we're saying, "Wow, what a play!" I and I I know hindsight's 2020. I don't like the play call there by Tony Elliott. I think you just play the game,
Yeah.
play it. But huge for the Dukes. Listen, Virginia had a great year. Good for Tony Elliott. Good for the Virginia Cavaliers. Not sure what bowl they got into, but I'll definitely be checking that out. But hey, how about Duke?
Wild.
Good for Manny Diaz.
Good for
I'm
Manny
happy.
Diaz.
I'm happy for him.
Moving on to the Big Ten title game. The Indiana Hoosiers are your Big Ten champions, 13-10 over Ohio State. Jake, if you had told me this 2 years ago, not a chance, zero chance I would have believed you. But Indiana gets it done. It's a defensive showdown. Two teams playing really great defense. What can you say about Kurt Signetti? The man wins.
If you would have told me Indiana wins the Big Ten championship 2 years ago, I would have had you committed, man. Like, listen, Kurt Signetti, Jay, we are not hyperbolic on this podcast. We are not a fan of hot takes. We are not fans of yelling and screaming um, nonsense. So please take this. I'm as serious as ever. I I might be a prisoner of the moment, but I think Kurt Signetti, what he has done at Indiana, is one of the greatest um, one of the greatest examples of coaching I have ever seen in major college football. The hire, the making the playoff, and then the following year, where people thought, hey, they're probably going to take a step down, got even better. That defense, Jay, it is again. There are 7 blue chip guys on that team. 7. 7 4-star, and not even 5 stars, 7 4-star recruits, and they are always in position. They are extremely well coached. And again, if Kurt Signetti did this at Penn State or A&M or Kentucky, even or Vanderbilt, no, he did it at Indiana, probably the worst Power 5 team, worse than Vandy. Okay, worse than Kansas. Kansas at least has a couple years in there. This is one of the greatest coaching jobs I have ever seen. And Indiana hiring him is probably the greatest coaching hire, I don't know, this century.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
I mean, I'm one of those that thought last year was a flash in the pan. I thought it was still a great coaching job. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
But I figured Indiana was primed for a step back. Again, like you said, they got better. It's a testament to Signetti's coaching ability. It's a testament to their evaluations to go and get a guy like Mendoza in the portal,
Mhm.
who could very well end up winning the Heisman. I mean, just everything that Indiana has done under Kurt Signetti has been defying our expectations.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one person who's not surprised, and that's Kurt
Of course,
Signetti.
Listen, he grabbed that microphone 2 years ago and says, "Yeah, Purdue sucks, but so does Ohio State and Michigan." And we all thought this man is out of his mind. He's in for a rude awakening. Man, he backed it up.
He's beaten both of them.
He's beat both of them. Did you see Mendoza's post game?
Dude's just he just loves it.
Staring into our soul. Like he was just staring at, he knew he was just staring at us. And I'm like, I was sitting in my living room with my family and I'm just like, is anyone else uncomfortable now? But good for, like, dude, that's the stuff you'll love to see.
Yeah. Heck of a story.
What a flippin' story. By the way, Jay, I've said it before. 9 years ago, Kurt Signetti was the head coach of Indiana University of Pennsylvania, in the PSAC, and now he's Big Ten title. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And now he has the very difficult job, which he said, get his guys hungry and ready in 3 weeks.
Yep. Because they're the number 1 seed. Jake, let's dive into the playoff talk. Obviously, we spoiled a little bit throughout this, but Indiana is your number 1. Yeah. Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Texas Tech 4. Those are the 4 teams with first round buys. At 5, you have Oregon. 6, you have Ole Miss. 7, A&M. 8, Oklahoma. 9, Alabama. 10, Miami. 11, Tulane. 12, James Madison. Let's talk about James Madison here for a second. Shortly removed from the FCS, and now you are in the FBS playoff. How about it for that program? Harrisonburg, I know they're going crazy. The selection show celebration for James Madison was probably my favorite by far.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. Here's the thing, Jay. I understand if you're going to say, hey, I don't think they're better than Notre Dame, BYU. Fine. Whatever. I might even agree with you. They deserve to be there.
Yeah.
They deserve to fight for that spot. I think they have earned the right. Same thing with Tulane. They've earned the right to be there.
Yeah. And let's not forget, like, Tulane has a head-to-head over the ACC champion in Duke.
They do.
So it makes a lot of sense to have them there. Can we talk about like playoff just structure for a second here?
Sure. Yeah.
I talked about this on Blue Sky, and some of the people agree with me, some people don't. I think that we should just get rid of conference championship games.
Yep.
Go to smaller regional conferences. Have probably a few more conferences. Like I think Southwest Conference, Big 8 come back, and just 2 conference champions, and that's who makes the playoff.
Oh, okay.
I think like you have like 10 team conferences, round robin style. Whoever comes out on top, and that's your playoff. Because I think like, and this is probably me being at the FCS playoff, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But it just seems like so much better, such a better way to do things. You have your regionality, and then you get into the playoffs, expand it out a little bit. I just think it would make so much more sense, but that's never going to happen because we're never going to get smaller conferences. It's only going to get bigger from here.
I have an idea. I think I fixed it. I fixed it, Jay. I fixed our problem. I fixed the college football playoff, Jay. And it's a shame because for us to get the perfect college football playoff, we have to sacrifice half of bowl season. And I know it's sad. It's very sad. And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss watching the Birmingham Bowl at 12 Eastern time at noon. I'm going to miss it.
On a random Wednesday, I think.
On a random Wednesday. I'm going to miss this. But here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. 2014 playoff. Championship week is out. Okay? But, again, so hang on. Let me start that over. Okay. Championship week is done. We go to a 24-team playoff. Top 8 teams get a bye. Okay? Top 8 teams get a bye, just like the FCS structure. Week 0 becomes week 1. We move the season up, or we move the season up a week. Okay, we're moving it up. That puts us at the Final Four on New Year's Day. Okay, so 4 teams left on New Year's Day. The week after is the national championship. Okay, now you might be saying, well, what happens to all these bowl games? This is what happens. First 3 weeks, home and homes. First 3 rounds, home and home. Quarterfinals. Okay, the quarterfinals. Peach Bowl, there's 8 teams left. Peach Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. Semifinals, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. National title afterwards.
Rotate.
Rotate, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, Jay. Maybe that third round, if you want to go neutral sites in the third round, guess what? Citrus, Alamo, Sun, Pop-Tart, Texas, and
Let's go Duke's Mayo Bowl just for fun.
Duke's Mayo Bowl. Yes, there it is. Duke's Mayo. Okay. There's your 6. Now, you don't have to do this. This is my bonus. Why do you do this? Listen, if James Madison gets to the quarterfinals, okay, that gives them a trophy. That gives them something of, hey, look how far we got. It's like a milestone, okay? So after the second round, now you're coming home with hardware. I'm telling you, this is, and with the transfer portal opens up on January 1st anyway. Opens up January 1st. Who's involved right now? Only 4 teams. And before it closes, now you have 2 teams. So even if you have a guy, he could still play in the game, and then he's still got 3 days to figure out where he's going to transfer before the semester starts. Yeah. Jay, I've fixed it. And here's the other thing. But wait, there's more. Just like the NIT, Jay, just like the NIT in basketball. If Boca Raton wants to have a game and Miami of Ohio and Georgia Southern want to play in it, there you go. It's the bowl game's responsibility to go out and then find teams. If the teams don't want to play, you lose. I don't know how financially that can even work, but in a perfect world, that's what happens. If not, 2014 playoff.
All right. Well, let's dive into the playoff that we do have. Did the committee get this right, Jake?
It did. I think they did. I think it's right. Hang on. If I'm a Notre Dame fan, I'm upset because for a month, you had Notre Dame ahead of Miami because of BYU in the middle. Okay? But they did get it right this time. I think.
Wrong.
Oh.
Alabama should be out.
And
I think Alabama should be out. I think Miami should be the 9 seed, and I think Notre Dame should be the 10 seed.
Really? So what if someone were to say to you, Jay, BYU only lost to the same team twice?
It's 2 losses. You didn't have a good enough win in there, right? Alabama has a great win over Georgia, but they ended up losing to Georgia. They also have a terrible loss in Florida State. The inconsistency, I think, of the College Football Playoff Committee shines through here because BYU did get dropped for losing in their conference championship game. Alabama did not get dropped for losing in their conference championship game.
And they're virtually the same score.
Yeah. Notre Dame won 10 games in a row. I think Alabama looked worse at the end of the season. Eye test. Miami, I think obviously you have the 2 bad losses, but ultimately, you have the good win over Notre Dame. I think it should be, again, Miami 9, head-to-head win over Notre Dame, who's 10. Alabama's out with 3 losses.
Okay. I can respect that because it's not that Alabama just lost the conference championship game. They were kind of handled the entire
-3 rushing yards.
yeah, that's I think all you have to say. And they haven't looked great in others. So yeah, ah, I'm still gonna say Bama, but I totally respect that outlook
Yeah.
on it.
My other big quibble with this is Ole Miss over A&M.
Same.
The metrics there, I think it's pretty close, and A&M still has their head coach. Ole Miss does not.
And strength of schedule also. Like
Yeah,
Ole Miss's strength of schedule is like 40th. A&M has a better strength of schedule. A&M also scheduled Notre Dame to play. Like again, they didn't make the playoff, but it's a better win than Ole Miss has.
I mean, technically, Ole Miss does have 2 playoff wins, Oklahoma and Tulane.
Okay. All right. So I guess that's where it lies then.
Yeah,
I think A&M I think A&M should have gotten the 6th seed.
I think so too. But the dice cast. It is what it is. You got to move on. You got to win them anyway, right? Like so. There's no use
Right?
crying over where you're
No.
seated. You have to win. You still have a home game in the playoff.
Mhm. Has A&M played Miami recently?
Yeah, they had a home and home 22-23.
22, 23. That's what I thought. Yeah.
A&M won at home. Miami won at home for their game.
Okay, yeah. They both I remember this now. Okay. So yeah, I think I still think it's the right decision, but I can totally see your point of view with that whole thing. Um, okay. By the way, if you thought we were going to jump into picks for the playoff, not so fast. Next week we will have our good friend Joe Pop on for our college football bowl game extravaganza episode. It's a long one. It's a fun one. So
It's
definitely
a
tune in for
great
that.
tradition. We'll always
It
have
is.
fun with
It's a
it.
great tradition. Jay, you were busy this week. FCS minutes. Take it away.
Yeah, let's dive into it. We'll start with the probably the biggest story from the FCS, the
Yeah.
upset.
Woo!
Your boy Brock's back.
Does it, man? Yes.
Illinois State upsets North Dakota State 29-28. Jake, for the first time since that wonky 2020 season
Mhm.
that was actually played in the spring of 2021, where
Right.
Sam Houston State eventually won the national championship, we will have a champion that is not either North Dakota State or South Dakota State. Spoiler alert for later. But let's talk about this Illinois State game here. Huge upset. They were down 28-14 in the fourth quarter. They score with 2 minutes, 44 seconds left. North Dakota State gets the ball back, shut down on first, second down. They pass on third down, strip sack. And Illinois State gets the ball back with 1:51 left in the contest. They score a touchdown on fourth and goal, and then they go for 2 and get it to win 29-28. What a job by Illinois State. I mean, just a massive story here.
Listen, I don't want to interject too much here because I know this is your segment, but the Illinois State people were shocked that he went for 2. Brock Spack is known as a very conservative football coach, stay in the game type of guy. The fact that he went for 2, like people were like jumping for joy, like, oh my God, like he's going for it because
Yeah.
he's just known as such a conservative field position type of coach.
I mean, it makes sense. You're on the road,
Yeah.
playoff. You don't want to play for the tie. You don't want to play for overtime. Get the job done in regulation
Mhm.
or don't. And it paid off. And this is
Good
one
for
of the
them.
biggest stories of college football this year, in my opinion. They will take on UC Davis, who beat Rhode Island 47-26. Big win for the Aggies there. Illinois State will be headed out to California for this one. It should be another fun matchup. In a Pennsylvania battle,
Yeah.
Villanova beats Lehigh 14-7. Low scoring affair there. They will face Tarleton State, who beat North Dakota 31-13. So Texas has 2 programs in the FCS quarterfinals. Going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Spoiler alert for a little bit later on. That's the second time I've done a little spoiler alert. But Montana beats South Dakota State 50-29. A 50 burger put up in Missoula. What a performance for the Grizz. They will take on South Dakota. The Coyotes defeated Mercer 47-0. Strong performance for South Dakota there.
Oh
This
yeah.
game will be in Missoula. So for the second straight week, Montana will be hosting a team from South Dakota. And then the game that I was at on Saturday, Jake,
Mhm.
covering for Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where I do my other podcast, Aggie War Pod. Stephen F. Austin beats Abilene Christian in an all-time classic. I got to write up about that game for Dave Campbell's. Check that out if you had a chance. But Stephen F. Austin wins 41-34. This was an electric contest, Jake. This had everything. 7 lead changes, punches back and forth. There was so much scoring in this one, but ultimately it was Sam Vidlak, quarterback for Stephen F. Austin, Kylan Harris, who had a monster game, 183 receiving yards, including the one-handed touchdown grab that eventually won the game for Stephen F. Austin. Just a fantastic contest deep in the piney woods of East Texas. So glad that I got to go out there and cover it. It was a fantastic game. And Stephen F. Austin will face Montana State in Bozeman after Montana State beat Yale 21-13. Two programs that I have a lot of love for because these are two FCS programs that I've seen a game at. Obviously, Montana State won Sinjay away last year. Stephen F. Austin, my first time going to a game out there in Nacogdoches was when they won the initial fundraiser. The first time I did the fundraiser for Sinjay away. So really, really happy for a Southland program and a Big Sky program. Shout out to both of those conferences. The FCS playoffs, it's must-watch television, folks. Get in, because if you didn't see that Stephen F. Austin Abilene Christian game, you missed an all-time banger. Same with Illinois State, North Dakota State. There's some fantastic football being played right now.
Oh, absolutely. And you talked about those, those other games. I kind of want to shout out Yale a little bit for showing up in these FCS playoffs. Like, listen, no moral victories, but you went toe to toe with Montana State. Like, that is no easy feat. So hats off to the Bulldogs for showing that, hey, the Ivy League, we belong here. So good for them. Good for them.
And it is setting up. It's a wide open playoff now. North Dakota State, South Dakota State, both out. The last of the Dakota schools in there is South Dakota. You have a couple Texas programs in Tarleton State and Stephen F. Austin. You have both Montana schools. Could we see a Brawl of the Wild rematch in the playoff? That'd be something.
That would be something. That would put a lot of butts in the seats.
It certainly would. But yeah, there's a lot of great football left to be played. And, we talked about those FCS games. Jake, there's another FCS game being played this Saturday.
This weekend. Yes, sir. The Celebration Bowl, the HBCU National Championship, the Prairie View A&M, the SWAC champions versus the South Carolina State MEAC champions. And, Jay, I do want to talk a little bit here. Tremaine Jackson, first-year head coach for Prairie View A&M. Prairie View A&M in the 90s was known as one of the worst, and probably early 2000s, one of the worst college football programs ever. Like, they were just synonymous with losing. And then it got a little bit better, but for them to get to a title game like this, first-year coach, again, Tremaine Jackson, came from Valdosta State last year, Colorado Mesa.
Shout out to the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
Yeah, right there. Did great things there, and they finally get that SWAC title. I'm not sure what the line is here, but South Carolina State, known for beating Jackson State without Deion, Travis Hunter and company. Was known for, they beat Jackson State while Travis Hunter, Deion and Shadir were there. They lost to Jackson last year in the Celebration Bowl. I'm rooting for Prairie View A&M in this one. I am rooting for Prairie View A&M just for the story, for going from one of the worst programs to now, having a shot at the Celebration Bowl. I think South Carolina State's going to beat them, but I am rooting for Prairie View A&M.
Yeah, hard not for me to root for Prairie View A&M, given I drive by Prairie View on the way up to College Station. Every time I go to a game, get to see that town. I mean, I'm gonna ride with Prairie View in this one. I think it'll be a fun game.
Awesome. And now we have a bowl game this weekend, which I hate. Push it back, but I guess they want it. They know there's an open time slot at night,
Yeah.
and that's what they're doing here. The Bucked Up LA Bowl. What is Bucked Up?
I don't know. It sounds like an energy drink.
It sounds like hang on. I'm
It's like
searching.
energy drink or like I keep thinking of Duluth Trading Company and they're like Buck Wild
Dude,
underwear.
yes. I thought this. I'm so glad you said that. I thought the same thing. Is it pre-workout?
Is it?
Bucked Up.
So it's
Vitamin.
energy drink adjacent.
It sounds like GN. Is it like GNC? Bucked Up. Here, buckedup.com. There we go. This is great podcasting, by the way. Buckedup.com.
The kids don't have Jack 3D like we had in my day.
It's pre-workout, creatine. Yeah, it's like it's
creatine.
GNC.
Yeah.
It's the new GNC. Oh, they have birthday apparel too.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's GNC. It's new GNC.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bucked Up LA Bowl. Wait, and this is Gronk's Bowl too, right?
Oh man.
Of course it is. Of course. Like, come on. Of course the sponsor for his bowl game is creatine workout website. However, as crazy as this bowl game sounds, Boise State takes on Washington. Great matchup, by the way. This is going to be a fun one. Boise State, the Mountain West champs, go up against 8-4 Washington out of the Big Ten. West Coast showdown. I am interested to see how well is Boise State going to run the football.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm interested to see in this one. How is their offense going to be? Because when we saw it against Notre Dame and against South Florida, it looked awful. So I'm interested to see how that is going to match up. I'm also curious to see how many guys from Washington opt out. I don't know at this time, but Damon Williams, I think, is probably going to be the X factor also in this football game for Washington.
Yeah, this is a fun callback because I felt like, in the heyday of our college football watching experience, Jake, I felt like Boise State was always playing programs like Washington. Like it was always Washington or Oregon State or Washington State. And it just makes sense, right? Idaho's right there. I know maps are hard for you, Jake, sometimes.
It is.
But
maps are hard. No, listen, they're not drawn to scale. I don't know how many hours away, things are here.
But this should be a fun regional-ish matchup in LA.
Yeah.
Washington is a 9.5 point favorite. Over under set at 51.5. I think I like Boise State to cover.
I like the under. I've been getting burned on unders, but I think I like this one. Give me the under in this one. Give me a defensive matchup.
There you go. And then we move on to the game that we are actually going to watch. I mean, we're going to watch both.
Oh,
we're going to watch
all. I'm definitely watching.
We had a lot of football to watch because we also have FCS playoffs. But the game that everyone thinks of for this weekend is Army Navy. Navy is a 5.5 point favorite. 39.5 is the over under. They're playing in Baltimore. Again, this is one of the only games that it's okay to play at a neutral site. Although it would be interesting to see games on campus in Annapolis and West Point. Maybe another time. I'm okay with this one being a neutral site for now. Navy, Army, it's always a fun one. I mean, this is it's always must-watch television for me. I enjoy it. Probably going to be a low-scoring affair. I know earlier this year, Navy and Air Force did not live up to the typical service academy mantras, but I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of running the ball in this one.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think Navy's going to win this football game. I think they have the air attack. I think they have an extra tool in their belt. The under scares me because
I'm taking the over, by the way.
I'm thinking about taking it too. Because all it takes is a quick score by either of these teams, and now we're off to the races.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away from the over/under. I'm just going to take Navy -5.5. I just think they're a better football team.
They can throw the ball better, and I think that's going to be the X factor in this one.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to remind everybody about before we close up shop for the day. Like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. But also next week, college football bowl game extravaganza with our buddy Joe Pop joining us again. We're going to go through every single bowl game. Make sure you tune in next week. Jay, land the plane for us. I know I already stole a little bit of that. Land the plane.
We always have co-pilots when
Yeah.
we're flying the friendly skies. But Jake, as always, we're so grateful to the people who listen to us. As Jake mentioned, like, subscribe, share, give us a 5-star review, tell a friend, do all the things that help us grow as a podcast. It has been a pleasure enjoying this college football season with you. And you quoted Thanos earlier in this one, Jake. I'm going to quote Dr. Strange. We're in the end game now. The season's almost over. We're into the postseason. I can't wait to see how this finishes off. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. Let's have a week.